time we've all been waiting for. Turn the boost up.
My oil gauge went mad.
Shit. Oh, it's broken. Good evening, boys and girls. I'm quite excited. It's the time we've all been waiting for, let's be honest. It's time to put a Mac valve on it and turn the boost up. Not quite sure how far we're going to turn it up yet, probably only £14, but I'm quite excited in case you couldn't tell. Yeah, so that's the plan for this evening. Fit the Mac valve, have a little mess around with some numbers on the keyboard, make sure we hopefully have got it right and don't blow it up. I did buy after the OSO Retro debacle the other day. I went and brought a new lambda sensor to go with the AFR gauge to hopefully try and sort out that issue that we were having with it getting really, well, I assume the sensor getting too hot and then going lean. Or reading lean, sorry, the engine wasn't going lean, the sensor was reading lean. So yeah, we got that, and then I did buy a nice cheap Chinese gauge. This is another coolant, I can't get it out now, but I brought another coolant temperature sensor and gauge, basically because this one reads a bit funny, doesn't quite read right with that sensor. I don't know if that's the sensor that came with it or not, I can't remember. But also, I'll quickly lean in and show you, if you remember rightly, you see I've got two different types of gauges. I've got these like analog ones and then this one digital one. So I've changed this digital one for one of these analog style ones so that they all match and all look the same, because it was slightly annoying my OCD. But yeah, so we've got one of those. It was like 20 quid, bargain. So we're going to fit the gauge, fit the new lambda sensor, and stick the Mac valve on, press some buttons on the keyboard, turn the boost up to the moon, and take it out for a spin and see what happens. Right, I'm going to crack on, catch you guys in a second. I'll try not to drag this out for too long because we all just want to get to the point where we're just pounding some boost into the floor, don't we really? So, right, what should I do first? Mac valve.
2 hours later.
Right, boys and girls, it's in after a fashion. Slight issue. I didn't have enough boost line. I thought I had enough looped here, but I don't, and I can't find. Also, I thought I had some laying around there somewhere, but I think I might have used it to bleed some brakes and then threw it away afterwards, so I didn't accidentally use it. But yeah, so I didn't have enough boost line to mount this. This is meant to mount up here, well away from the turbo and away from the heat or anything like that. So what I've done for now, for the sake of putting some boost in it tonight, I've cable tied it to the charge cooler line because, you know, because that's, well, the best way to do it. No, so I've cable tied it there just so it doesn't get sucked into the turbo. But I'll order some new line tonight when it turns up. It will mount on. There's two little holes just here from a previous bracket. I don't know what they actually mounted on in a former life, but I will just mount this to those holes. The cable I've literally just poked down through the hole. There's a hole there from the old gearbox mount, from the factory gearbox mount. So I've utilised that, just poked that through, run it along the inner wing, and then it pops through just under there, under the clutch line. So we're all good to go. The joints are up there, which for now, again, a little bit dodgy, sketchy, scodgy, gwodgy. A little bit dodgy, but what I've done is I've just twisted and taped the joints for now, so that I can test everything, because what I don't want to do is solder everything, get everything in proper, and then realise I've fucking done it wrong, because that would really wind me up. Anyway, so it's hooked up. Boost in, boost out, vent to atmosphere. So the way these work, in case you don't know, is you have your boost source, which is basically the pressure from your turbo, goes into here. It then goes through number 2 to the wastegate. So when the solenoid is off, all of the pressure from the turbo goes to the wastegate and opens the spring. And I'm only using, bearing in mind, I'm using the bottom half of this. You can plumb these up slightly differently, but this is the easiest way to do it, I think, from my mind. But basically, yeah, so whilst the solenoid is off, all of the pressure from the turbo goes straight to the wastegate and opens the wastegate as soon as it can, which is, you know, on this it's £8. When the solenoid is on, it bleeds off a certain amount of air out of this port here to atmosphere. So that then essentially means that some of the pressure from here gets bleeded out, so the wastegate doesn't see all the pressure, which then obviously means this has got to make more pressure to open the wastegate. If that makes sense. Anyway, essentially making more boost, go faster, sending rods to the moon. Anyway, right, so I've got the laptop out, got it all connected up. What we're going to do is go into Boost Advanced and just check our boost settings. So in the boost settings here, we've got boost control is enabled, solenoid frequency 39 Hz, which is what it needs to be for this particular solenoid. Control interval is 10 milliseconds. Now I've not touched that, I've just left it as it is. Boost control pin IAC1, so that depends obviously on the output of the ECU, but that is correct. Boost polarity. Now boost polarity is a weird one, and I think I understand it. With it normal, the higher the numbers in the boost map, the more pressure it will command. With this piped up a slightly different way, a much more complicated way if you ask me, but is when you have dome pressure and base pressure and whatever else, I'm sure it gives you much more control, but you can invert the polarity, and then the higher the numbers, the less boost it will make. So, but anyway, for this particular setup, we need normal. We're going to stick with open loop for now. Nice and simple. We're not going to get into any closed loop stuff yet. Might mess around with that at some point, but for now we're not going to. Overboost protection, I've left it where it is for now. I will change that in just a minute once we know everything's working, because obviously we're going to try and make more boost than that. But we've left that as spark cut. Test what we've just put in. I can close this. Now on the ECU you can test your inputs and outputs. So I'm going to go into output test mode, input output. Turn the test mode on. Now IAC1 is where we were. So I'm at 39 Hz. I'm going to go 50% duty cycle. Now in theory, if I turn this on, then the solenoid should open, and if I turn it off, it should close. And if that works, we turn it on pulsed, and it should imitate what it will be like when it's driving. So, right, there's the solenoid. Listen closely. Ooh. It works. Right, it works. So if I press pulsed, in theory, it should pulse it at 50% duty cycle. And that is a fully working Mac valve, which means we can turn the boost up essentially as high as we want. Well, I say as high as we want. We can turn it up to the point where the valve is maxed out, which an £8 spring, we're probably going to be able to make, I should think, £20 before we max that out, and we're not going to go anywhere near that. Probably 14 will be about the target. Anyway, right, that's the exciting bit done. I'm going to quickly put the gauge in and swap out our lambda sensor down here. And once I've done that, Dean's on his way down, and we'll get her warmed up, get her out on the road, and we will mess around with the boost map a little bit and see what she is like with a bit more boost.
banged the big plane. It banged like fuck. Was that because the boot, it hit boost cut?
Didn't see it get over boost, but it was hitting about 12 and a half.
What, pounds of boost?
Yeah.
I wonder if it went lean. If it went lean at 12 and a half pounds of boost, that's a very quick way to melt the fucking piston. Put it around. Get your eye on it, ready?
Got the big leads spots in there.
I wonder if I'm running out of injector. What did the duty cycle look went right up? I would just go anything that's from 4,000 RPM upwards and above 70% throttle.
Done a couple of bits.
Let's just, what's it at now?
69, most of it's 70, 71, 72.
Bump it up, I don't know, five numbers. Like that. Yeah. Right about the down, not too much. Right, how much did we add in?
About 5. Clear behind.
That car goes straight over.
Yeah.
Are you ready?
Clear behind.
Done it. We done it?
Big rolling.
Can I break it? My oil gauge went mad. That went crazy mad.
Didn't go late.
Didn't.
No.
Why did it pop then?
Boost cut.
Did this flash?
Didn't see it flash, but one
How much boost did we hit?
about 6 or so.
But did it go lean? Ready? That doesn't sound good though. Does it?
Turbo.
Possibly. How much boost did that make? I don't know.
Well, I saw it was 12 seconds in the first one. The one making it with the ear back.
That sounds terrible. We've broken it! I mean, it's a lot faster, but we've broken it. That's metal on metal, isn't it? Just put in the shell garage and have a look. I'm just parking out the car. Or not, I don't know. It's parked over there, there's a line over there.
One talk anyway.
It's the turbo. That's the turbo, because as I turned it off, you could hear it. Destroyed the turbo, boys and girls. Destroyed the turbo.
Right, should we get a pulley pull?
Fuck.
Oh no, you know what?
Go on.
Shine your torch in there. Does that look? That looks like the nuts come off the impeller.
That it has. I get it, man.
I don't know how well you're going to see it, boys and girls, but the nuts come off the impeller. Isn't it?
Yeah. 100%.
So what that is...
I didn't undo it. I'll clarify. When I touched it earlier, I did not undo it.
The problem now is...
Where?
Well, it's gone, isn't it? Oh yeah, she's done. Yeah, she's done, mate. Turf ski is done. Oh.
So how are we getting home?
I need a new turbo. You know, it's funny because I started this video and I was like, we've got no more shows, so if it blows up, it doesn't really matter. The engine's fine. Making good strong power, isn't it?
But it was.
Until
It was.
the turbo exploded. Right, what do? Do we try and drive it home? What do I call breakdown? Call breakdown, we're sitting here for hours.
It's breakdown.
Hmm?
It'll be here a while if it's breakdown, but what?
We'll try and drive it back from here, we can go through Alsford. Keep it to like side roads, low RPM. Because it didn't sound that bad at low RPM, did it?
No, as long as you keep off the boost.
Well, I'm not going to get into boost, definitely not, but I don't want the turbo to eat itself.
Oh, I just do what my truck did. So we went up to half the engine with it, it sounded like a freaking steam train.
Shit.
Sorry.
Oh, it's broken and we're stuck. I mean, at least we can get some Jamie Oliver Deli by Shell food if we need to.
I didn't bring my wallet out.
I've got mine.
I was like, oh, I won't do my wallet tonight.
And if we're not going to get into boost and we're babying it. Right, let's do it. Should we just get in and try and get ourselves home? And then if it generally does give up, then we know where we're at. I wonder how much boost it would make on a good turbo. Right, okay. Yeah, let's just go. Let's just get in. I mean, it spins.
Hold on a second, you actually even pull a bloody turbine out, we probably can't.
Help. Fuck. Hope it starts. My oil pressure gauge is reading 10 psi.
It was 20 when you turned it off.
Do you reckon my oil pressure gauge shit his pants now?
Something's going to shit itself on the way home.
Fucking don't sound good, does it?
It's very broken. Very broken. Right, let's keep it as low RPM as we can. Obviously no boost.
We made it home. Only just. We made it home. Actually drove reasonably well. I don't know how much you saw before. When did the battery run out? Before or after the police turned up?
Just as the police had turned in behind us.
So I reckon we're being hunted down again.
Well, we saw.
There's a bit of a piss take really, but we watched me pull into the drive, haven't they? Do you reckon? I reckon if we hadn't pulled into the driveway,
Yeah, they did.
They
watched you pull in.
they were ready to pull us, weren't they?
Yeah.
But what for?
They basically stopped. At
What
the end
for?
Of
I
the
do not know.
From what I can see in the mirrors, they almost stopped at the end of the road.
They did. They stopped across the end of the road.
Yeah, and then they've driven down, then driven back off.
Driven back up, must have watched us pull in. But what are they trying to stop us for? We're not speeding. The car's insured. Car's taxed. It's got lights. It's got plates on it.
That was Wednesday night.
Maybe we're just being discriminated against because we like old Fords. Anyway, stop moaning about that, and let's give you a little show in the daylight of this. I've just taken the turbo elbow off of there, and thankfully there's no metal or oil. More importantly, no oil in there, because if there was loads of oil in there, then there's going to be loads of oil in the charge cooler, and it would have just all been a mess.
Definitely is blowing a little bit of smoke.
Listen to this. Oh, I can barely even turn that. So, turns out, wing wang willy wing wing wang wong does not like making lots of boost. Does not make looking lots of boost. She's done. She is done. What was it? £12.5. It wasn't even that much. Didn't even get to the £14 target.
12.6 or something. I think I saw them on 12.9. Sure, it's 12.6.
Fuck. Damn. Fucking went well though, didn't it?
It did.
The three pulls that we got in, I don't know how much you guys saw on the camera, but the second pull in, which was what, £12.5, somewhere about, sounded insane, didn't it? It's like the boost, you could hear. Oh, it was insane.
And it was pulling straight as well. It wasn't
There's no torque steer, no torque steer at all. So strange that I would have thought, if we turned the power up, the torque steer would be worse. But it pulled, I wasn't fighting it like I was before.
No, it pulled.
Except it felt like it came in a lot smoother. A lot smoother. Right. Like, comment, subscribe. Tune in next time for the dissection of the Chinese turbo, and we'll see what has gone. Well, I know what's gone in it. The journal bearing's fucked, but we'll see what the full damage is, shall we? Right. See you next time.